To 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Kones. We are speaking to NJERI MAINA. She is the Women Rep nominee, KIRINYAGA County, UDA. She's under 30. She won against Giants. And she's here to tell the tale. Wow. There are people watching you, by the way. Gideon Kiplangat from Eldoret says he wishes you the very best.
Asante, Gideon.
This Frederick Chirchir, he says, UDA is the home for all walks of class, age, and life dreams. Congratulations to the youth who got the slots, including you. Now, you were saying something about your party vis-a-vis other parties and young people.
You can see that UDA has actually given a chance to young people to take up leadership positions, and it is because, like I said, UDA speaks ideologies of the bottom-up economic model, which is all about inclusivity, that no one is left behind. And you can see what has happened with the Jubilee Party. They have held consensus, rather, I will put this in quotes because I believe that is, coerced democracy, which has been kicking out the young people to pave way for the old guard, which is quite unfortunate because at the end of the day, it is time for the youth levy. The youth can no longer be told that you're the leaders of tomorrow. This, we normally say tomorrow is now here with us, and we have to lend ear to that conversation. And if a whole party, can entirely kick out its young populace, which is half of the voting population in Kenya, which are the people that should be part and parcel of decision making in Kenya, it is quite unfortunate. Yeah,
it's quite unfortunate that can happen. But that kind of thing in terms of people saying, negotiated democracy is happening a lot in terms of, some parties are trying to say we will fix this to negotiated democracy here and there. And for the first time in nominations, we are seeing it play out quite a bit. Do you think that, at the end of the elections, we will see some differences because of that negotiation of democracy?
I believe what I expect to see at the end of the elections is a revolution of young people refusing to be put in a box, or rather to be told that it is not time for them to lead. Because as we have seen, and like I've said with Jubilee Party, they're kicking out young people to pave way for the old guard. And mostly when people say it is a consensus, or rather it is negotiated democracy, there should be no coercion. The playing level should be evened out for everyone, regardless of whether you're young. Age should not be a factor at all. As long as you're qualified, then you should be able to get a fair fighting chance. Yeah. But it doesn't mean just because I am a young candidate and figure out that, I would not have as much resources to run through to the very end of my campaign than my elder competitor, that you give them the ticket because of that. There should be a balance, and it is very unfortunate, and I expect to see the citizenry rebelling to that and refusing to be handed over a certain candidates, because at the end of the day, power belongs to the people. It should be exercised by the people.
Yeah, I know what word that is in Swahili, but they said it was a hate speech word. Tell me, Mount Kenya, is it really that UDA infested, or in terms of like the populace? Amani story.
I can assure you that Mount Kenya is UDA invested. I think you can even see with the top leadership and across board, UDA is a party to be at. You can see that everybody wants to wield the UDA ticket in Mount Kenya, because Mount Kenya has actually bought, and it is very, very crucial to note that they have endeared themselves to the ideologies that UDA party represents. So UDA in Mount Kenya is it spreads like fire, Levi. It spreads like fire. There's no stopping it there.
Really? Were you seeing it when you were on the ground talking to people?
I could see it, because the first thing, when you tell people your name and that you're vying, they ask you which party. And I tell you, you dare say some parties, you can see the mood. You can see the mood, and you say UDA and cheers all across sport. They just light up. They're happy. They're backing the deputy president without fear and without feeling that they should back this other person. They have decided, and people of Mount Kenya are extremely decisive.
So it's your story.
It's your story. When they decide it is you we are backing, it is you we are backing, and the deputy president is in their hearts to stay.
There's talk about how the nominations did not have a very good turnout. Does it concern you for the bigger stage Why do you think that would be so?
I think,
and that's across the board, by the way, affected all parties, it seems.
We've always seen that nominations don't have high turnout. In Kirinyaga County, for example, I can say that the reason we didn't have a high turnout is because the gubernatorial seat was not contested, nor was the senatorial seat contested. So mostly it was the MCAs. Some MPs seats were not contested either, and even some MCA seats were not contested. So mobilization happens from the top. People really want to come and decide this is going to be your governor.
Because your votes cast were 35,000 something.
Yes, so 35,600 and something. So people feel that for those big seats, the powerful ones, they really have to come out. But for these other seats like MCAs, MPs, the women rep seat, they're not that highly, the people feel that they're not seats that they really need to come out and really push the agenda on. So those turnout, the low turnout because of that, and also because people really normally do not involve themselves in the nomination process.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think there'll be a difference at the elections, the main elections?
Definitely, definitely. People want to come and vote for the president. That is a major, major factor in the general elections. So it is going to be such a huge turnout, and we are going to mobilize as a UDA candidates to push everyone to come out and vote so that we can have a UDA from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. Or rather from the bottom to the top.
From the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, all the way back. It's
yes.
Interesting. There's talk about running mates, and one of the questions that's being said, especially by ladies, is that they would love to see a woman running mate. Do you hold that view?
I do hold that view. I've always supported women in leadership, and I believe we don't give leadership to women just because they're women. We give it to them because they're worth it and because they're worth backing. So I believe it is time for us to have a female deputy president, and a woman deputy president is a very welcome idea. It is about time. We've seen the narrative of how the patriarchal system has been, the way women have come up in leadership, even to lead. And Kirinyaga County is a county of women. Women are at the top and they're leading, and we are
both parties are actually touting ladies from Kirinyaga
Yes,
County.
so my county is a home county of lionesses. So, yeah, let's get to it.
So
I'd love to see it.
You'd love to see that happen.
Yes.
Yeah, because that it should be coming up by end of next week on Thursday.
Yes.
So now, what's next? Presentation to IBC, and then you hit the ground back running, or do you feel like done and dusted?
No, I don't feel done and dusted, because we have a long stretch to the elections, and I will work to the very last day. You can't campaign, I think, 48 hours to the election, so I will work to the very last day that is allowed by the law. So what I'm waiting for is the IBC clearance, and then from there I will hit the ground running to sell my agenda to people. I want to talk to people, I want to listen to them, I want to know what they would expect of me, and I want us to have that conversation so that come 9th August it is set and it is decided.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you, in terms of just setting out an agenda and talking to people, you say you also want to listen to people. What are some of the things you heard when you're on the campaign trail from people?
What I heard is that a lot of people do not understand what the women representative position stands for, and the capacity. So I'd get people asking me whether I'm going to, construct their road, and so I think it is something that we need to discuss more. I need to talk to people more about the seat and what it entails, and the funding, the limitations of it, what I can do and can't do, so that even when it comes to the expectations, when they elect me as a woman member of the county, they do not expect what I cannot do even within the law. Yeah,
there was lobbying by previous members of the assembly who are women reps with regards to funding, saying the allocation is too small. I'm sure you share the same view.
Yes.
Would you be continuing that same lobbying? What do you think? Do you think it should be equivalent to what the MP gets, or maybe even more because you're in the county? What do you think?
I think that the funding for the women rep should be more than the MP gets, because at the end of the day, I'm dealing with the entire constituency, and the constituency, the entire county, and the county has demands, and those demands have to be met. They have expectations of me as their leader. Those expectations have to be met. So I will be continuing to lobby for all legislative changes that will ensure that the women representative seat is as powerful as it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there still things you think, because people say with affirmative action, with going to school, with the ability to be able to battle it out with also manning for elective seats. I mean, many women have won seats. Your county, you already have a woman governor, you know, the first of only 3 that we've had. Have we reached a point where the balance has been met? To the point where we say, you know, maybe we should just all fight it out on the same scale? Or do you still think that the affirmative action needs to continue?
The balance has not been met because we started the balance, or rather we started working towards the balance with the promulgation of the new constitution. So it is such a short period to recover all the injustices that have been occasioned because of the patriarchal system. The balance has not yet been met, but what I am advocating for, even as I advocate for women, is to ensure that no one is left behind. I do not want any gender to be left behind, because at the end of the day, then we'll get to a point where we're saying, oh, now we need to look back and actually cater for men. I don't want that. I want it to be a balance. So what I am trying to push and what I will work towards is that we are at par with the other gender.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we meet somewhere, but we work together.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very refreshing to listen from you.
Thank you.
A young person who won a seat
Thank you for having me.
against giants. But tell me this.
Yes.
That campaign, that night, that counting of the votes, and you're waiting for, you know, your votes are coming in from different places. What was the mood like, the feeling like for you?
I think I was on autopilot, so I wasn't really thinking much. I was just operating. I knew that I needed to secure my votes, and it was such a stressful night. It was a long and stressful night because the election was called in early for me. And then I think they had not called in one of the constituencies where my competitor was polling really well. So they started polling it in, and now we were balancing, you know, we were neck to neck. So it was very hectic. I couldn't even sit in one particular position.
Yeah.
You know, I was just moving around, and I was
Because the difference was not even on 1,000 votes, was it?
No, it was 2,000 plus.
2,000
Yes.
plus, okay. So it was, but still narrow. Well, considering the size of your constituency, of your county.
But we have the Nakuru one, the one vote. And we always say politics is all about numbers.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, I was saying, even if I win with 10 votes, it is a win. And the number means the second one doesn't get the ticket.
Second is second. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a roller coaster ride thinking about it.
Yeah, it is. I'm still soaking it in, and my life has changed a bit. You know, people call me Mheshimiwa, I know that. So it's a roller coaster. I'm soaking it in. I'm trying to just, you know, breathe a bit, process everything, and stay grounded, because that is very important for me.
I noticed your phone is also ringing a lot.
My phone is always buzzing, always buzzing.
What are the people telling you?
Maybe perhaps they're congratulating me. Some are saying they want to work for me, they want to campaign for me. So most of them, I'm telling them it is not a paid campaign, you know, because I worked on a volunteership basis. Yeah. I didn't have the capacity to hire out, you know, a team that is paid on a daily basis, or rather on a weekly basis. So I would hire people on a need basis, and most of the people just volunteered to campaign for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of your competitors may have had more money than you did.
Yes.
How did you keep your agents, you know, talking to them and inspiring them, please, let's continue? Because most of the times, you know, a campaign comes with more money, people move.
What I did, I figured that my competitors, both of them, definitely had more money than me. So I worked on a strategy. I met my agents prior to the nominations, and I ensured that they had an incentive to motivate them to work for me. And I spoke to their hearts, you know, and it's very easy when you just, you know, break down all things as a human being and reach out to the other human being on the humanity level.
Yeah.
I told them, look at this, if you feel that you really can't work with this pay, it is okay. I will excuse you. I am asking for your votes, but I am unable to pay you more, because I would get demands of them wanting more, some of them. But I just spoke to their hearts and told them I am not able to pay you anymore. So if you're not able to take these, I would kindly not be able to work with you, but I am asking for your vote. So I reached out to them, and I made them understand that I was a young person, that all I want is to get this seat so that we can all benefit, all of us, the people of KIRINYAGA County. And nominations were quite expensive, because I fielded agents in all the 315 polling centers, and it cost me close to 1 million Kenya shillings, so yes.
Wow, 315 polling centers.
Yes.
How do you keep tabs on all that? Wow.
I had a call center. Like I said, I worked with strategy. I figured that most likely my competitors would not be capitalizing on that. So I organized for a call center where we'd have super agents and the constituency level agents, and now someone following up on them, and people driving around just checking on how the nomination process is ongoing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with no political godfather.
With no political godfather. God really came through for me. This is a win that even I feel that had a lot to do with just the goodwill of the people and the goodwill of God and just His grace. Because like I've told you, I lost my dad 2 weeks prior to nomination,
Yeah,
so it was such a tricky balance for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot has been put on your shoulders now.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of carrying the great county and all the dreams and aspirations of these people now, they're looking at you, because when they look at the big seat later on, and you're a young person, there's a lot of pressure on young people to perform. You're up to the task, you feel? I
am completely up to the task. I've never been afraid of taking up things, and I'm not afraid of facing whatever is coming. I am ready, and I am ready and willing to work for the mothers, the fathers of Kirinyaga, and the youth of Kirinyaga County to ensure that I have delivered in my first 5 years, so that we can see how we get along. Perhaps I might be the first female president someday. You never know.
Perhaps you might.
Yes.
What do you tell all these young people who have tried and maybe not gotten? A lot of people went for seats this time. Some of them are, at home thinking, nilijaribu, didn't go well. What would you advise them?
I'd want to encourage them and tell them that there's a time for everything. When I vied for the county assembly speaker in 2017, sometimes you'll find even people are making fun of you because you failed, but I want to promise you that if you keeping on, if you keep pushing, if you keep working in whatever space you're in, something is going to work along the way. And even if you might not have gotten the ticket, or rather you have decided to go independent, or have decided to just step away from the political arena, just keep the faith, and the next time you go in, fight for it to the very end, and I'm certain that something will work out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for coming. I'll give you a chance to campaign for your party before you leave. Talk to young people all across the country.
I want to reach out to all young people in Kenya, and I want to ask you to support UDA party under the leadership of His Excellency, Deputy President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. This is the party where young people should be. I think you have seen all across through the nomination process that this is the party where young people are listened to. This is a party where young people are considered. This is a party where young people are actually given a seat at the table. This is a party that gives young people a chance, and it chaperones the ideologies that will see young people of this nation catered for. Thank you.
Congratulations, NJERI.
Asante.
Looking forward to having you installed as the next Mheshimiwa Women Rep.
Asante. Thank you.
Kirinyaga County, and really, really rooting for you and wishing you well in your work, even as you pick up that mantle and continue.
Thank you.
God be with you, the campaigns. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate. NJERI MAINA, Women Rep nominee, United Democratic Alliance Party. She's going for the elections with the flag of UDA in Kirinyaga County. Kirinyaga County is county number?
020.
020. All right. 020, county number 20. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me again.
All the best. That's all for 59 minutes. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning, and see you tomorrow, God willing.